Are you trying to dominate your fantasy football league? Do you want so many championship rings it's impossible to sign autographs? Well, crack open a beer, pour yourself a glass of bourbon, and settle in, because you've come to the right place. Welcome to HammerCast. We're here to talk all things football, barbecue, bourbon, and beer. Here are your hosts, Kenneth Smith, David Stidham, and Chad Taylor. It's time to grind.
Hey guys, welcome back to the HammerCast Network. I am your host, Kenneth Smith, aka HammerCon, and I am joined today by my good friends David and Chad. David Stidham is Mr. Hammerjack, and Chad is the Sledgehammer. How we doing, boys?
Doing great, man. Let's do this.
Yeah, hell yeah. Let's do this, guys. As you know, we jumped right into to Jonathan Taylor on our last podcast and our last episode on YouTube. We want to take that to the next hot topic, the other one that's considered the 101 and rookie drafts, Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Guys, before we get started, I'm going to need to know something. Are you drinking on something? And if you are, what are you drinking?
Something. Well, you know what? It's barbecue, bourbon, and beer in addition to the fantasy football talk. I'm usually the one with the bourbon, and tonight it's Little Maker's Mark, splash of Coke, sippy sippy.
Splash of Coke.
There you go. Well,
I want to know what Chad's got. Chad said he had a surprise for us.
I do. We talked about
we might have a surprise caller.
No, not again.
No, not again. Guys, I'm doing straight up Diet Dr. Thunder, which I love Diet Dr. Thunder, as you know.
Obviously. And
I did the opposite of Dave, and I actually just did a splash of Captain Morgan to go with my Diet Dr. Thunder. Kind of like rough seas for the captain tonight.
There you go. Well, as Dave alluded to, barbecue, bourbon, and beer. He brought the bourbon. I usually bring the beer. I brought the barbecue and the beer because what I have is a Pitmaster Prime Pilsner.
Oh, my God.
Ooh.
So this is the official beer barbecue. Twisted X Brewing Company in Dripping Springs, Texas.
Twisted X.
I'm moving to Austin.
Dude, I've been there. Have you ever been there?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, he's been.
I've been there with Chad.
That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
So, but yeah, if you're around the Texas area, it's great beer for when you're standing around the pit, which I know a lot of our listeners will be doing here for the 4th of July. So, check it out if you get a chance. It's a pretty tasty beverage.
Hey guys,
awesome.
Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I know I'm wiping my head and my forehead. I struggled with this one a little bit, only because the hype is so prevalent right now for this guy.
It's big. It's big hype. Ever since draft night. Ever since he got taken by the Chiefs.
And if you watched, spoiler alert, but if you didn't watch the last show, we're pretty much on the Jonathan Taylor train as far as.
Well, you and I are.
Yeah, me and you are, as far as who the better of the two are.
I'm on the train. I'm just, maybe.
You're just not in the
He's on the caboose, if you will.
Yeah.
He's halfway down. We're in the front.
Like, you guys are.
We're throwing coal on the fire.
I feel like there's some innuendo here that I don't really like. So let's just get right into what Chad has to say.
That's probably a good call, man. So yeah, I think we've all had some conversations sort of offline about this particular topic, and I know that we all feel fairly similar about this. I don't know if we're all 100% in the same camp, but for me, Clyde Edwards-Helaire, CH is what we'll use because I don't want to say the three names 100 times in this conversation. But basically, I'm a fan of the SEC. Big Auburn guy. Watched this kid last season, and he had a great year. It's undeniable that he was a surprise for that team to come out and perform the way he did. I think he opened a lot of eyes across the league and across the country, to be honest. So it's not a big surprise to me that when he was picked first running back off the board, lands in a spot like Kansas City.
I mean, it does seem like a good fit for Kansas City.
It does, right? Like, especially kind of, when you look at sort of they're trying to be this, super athletic and quick and mobile type of offensive unit. He seems like the perfect perfect piece to put in that system.
Yeah.
And he may be, right. Like, I think that when you look at what they do, and when I talk to people and I ask, like, why are you guys so high on CEH? That's exactly what they talk about. They talk about, man, that offense is so, so fast paced and so prolific, and he's so, fast and elusive and hard to make plays, especially on the outside. It feels like, a dream, matchup.
Hey, before you go any further on that,
Mm-hmm.
because that is the feeling, and I agree. When you watch this guy, he looks shifty, like a little cat or something. Just
Mm-hmm.
and he's got those spin moves. Do you know that he is he's in the 47th percentile on his 40-yard dash?
There you go.
4.6.
4.6.
He does not have great front, like.
Well, and that's
that ain't.
And I don't want to.
That's not terrible, but I'm just saying it's 47th percentile. He's as good as half of the other. He's right in the middle, right?
He's a little bit below half, and
right,
47. And his speed score is actually in the 36th percentile. And so, before the draft happened, before Kansas City picked him up and everybody lost their minds, and you know what, they should, because the Kansas City running back's a very, very productive running back.
I agree.
But when you look at the measurables, a 4.60, a 92.5 speed score, 15 on a bench press. But here's the thing that scares me. It doesn't scare me, but it's just something to think about. Player profiler, they have his college dominator rating at 18.3.
Well, the thing about that, though, is I agree with you, Dave. That one doesn't scare me near as much as some of these other measurables.
Right, but then you got his college target share at 10.2. Did you know that Jonathan Taylor had a better college target share for his team than Clyde Edwards-Helaire? Yeah. And so there's just a whole lot of little things that people just probably aren't really taking into consideration because they're so enamored with the Kansas City Chief.
Yeah, I'm with
offense.
You. I'm with you on that.
And like I said, they should be. But if we were to take Clyde Edwards-Helaire and say, okay, you got drafted to this team. Remember, I had him pre-ranked at 5th overall of the running backs
of the rookie.
And when you looked at how he did at the combine, and a lot of people had him kind of, there's a couple of guys out there that had him in that 1 to 3, and there's a couple of guys that had him in that 3 to 5. I had him in that 5 range. Yeah. And I think a lot of people had him in that 5 range. But now, because of the Kansas City thing, I like him, and I think he's going to do well, but I don't think he's going to be what everybody thinks he's going to be.
Dave, here's my thing, right? Chad, my thing is, guys, y'all need to understand, we think that he's going to be a great – or I do. I think he's going to be a really good NFL asset for the Kansas City Chiefs. But he's not going to be as big an asset on the HammerCast fantasy football team,
right?
As he is going to be for the Kansas City Chiefs.
I agree.
I want him on my team. I'm just saying, let's take a look at where we're drafting him, what our projections are. That's all I'm saying.
Well, I think we're being sold a sort of false bill of goods when you look at what.
Whoa.
Well, I'm just saying, like, when you look at what he's being projected as, right? When you look at what he's being projected as, top.
I'll be honest with you. When I see him in all these projections ahead of Jonathan Taylor, I shake my head. I just do.
Can't make sense.
I mean, even in Player Profiler, his best comparable is Chase Edmonds. And Jonathan Taylor's
think about that.
Comparable is Ezekiel Elliott.
Yeah. Say that again, Dave. Say that again.
His best comparable is Chase Edmonds, and Player Profiler. They're really good at what they do.
Yeah.
I love Matt. But here's the thing. Zeke Elliott's a different ballgame. And then when you look at the college dominator rating, you look at all these factors, and then you got everybody's got him ahead of Taylor just because of where he's at. But I also believe that his let's just say running partner, who's going to be Damian Williams, is a lot more competent in that offense than Marlon Mack is in the Colts offense.
Marlon Mack is going to fade off.
I'm kind of going to that whole argument of Jonathan Taylor versus Clyde, and I don't think that's what we're trying to do today. And I apologize for that. We'll get back to CEH. I like CEH, but I'm just saying he is vastly, vastly being overrated, in my opinion.
Yeah.
To where he should be. I in my projections, I honestly have him running back 23, which is the very low end of the RB2s, and that's where I have him. And I have Jonathan Taylor. I have him number 5 overall, and so I just see this big, huge difference between the two. And that's when I get kind of emotional about it, because I really drill down to look at these things. But anyway, I'm sorry, I digress.
No, I mean, well, I think a lot of your points kind of support what we're trying to say here, right? Like, I think that what I'm getting at is that they're projecting this kid to be a bell cow running back that's going to be like, I don't know.
What are they projecting him? What do you got there?
Going to be like Kareem Hunt, you know, and he's not that guy. He's not built that way. That's not what he's.
Oh, it's not even close.
Well, Chad, let's go into his projections. What do you got?
Yeah. So, I mean, if you look at, well, before I get to the projections, you know, I spoke briefly about how people were excited about this kid being in, you know, a big part of the receiving game, and you know, as we know, with running backs, you know, number of receptions and TDs is what you're going to want there, right? Like if that's what you're, you know, buttering your bread with.
Well, in a PPR league, it's critical.
Absolutely.
Got to have receptions.
Well, that's where he's getting all his credit right now, right?
Exactly.
The passing game. It's the cheese. It's the running quarterback. Running back.
Right?
Sorry, Chad. We're all into this.
No, it's okay. Because if you look at what he did in college, I mean, last year LSU, prolific offense,
60 touchdowns in the air.
60 touchdowns in a year.
Passing.
How many of those 60 passing touchdowns went to CEH? One.
What was it?
Crazy.
One.
That's crazy.
Exactly. So,
and you know what's funny is, and I know you're going to go there. I'm just kind of jumping your Dr. Thunder here. He had one receiving touchdown in his entire college career.
absolutely. Yeah.
I don't think a lot of people realize that.
Yeah. You know,
How shifty is he when he can only get one rushing touchdown
But
in his
I don't know how many
career?
targets he had.
Well,
Yeah, but he had 55 receptions last year.
yeah.
So,
69.
I mean, he was targeted a lot. So that's the point. My point is he got targeted a bunch, but only had one.
Right.
55 catches and one touchdown.
Yeah.
And you know what? And you know, we could go deeper, and that's another show. But the fact is he is really good. He's talented. I'm not disparaging him on that. I have a real tough time with the ranking that he's getting, and it's just not the same as the projections I've got for him. And so that's all I'm bringing up.
Hey, do you know that he wasn't even the leading rusher in the SEC last year?
Well,
yeah.
Oh,
There
that's
you go.
not surprising to me.
Right. So, I mean,
Who do you think would have been? You think DeAndre Swift would have been the leading rusher last year? That's what most people would think, right? If it wasn't Helaire, it was Swift. It was Lynn Bowden in Kentucky.
Kentucky. Yeah. Yeah.
I think they ran the ball 900 times.
At least 900 times.
Okay. All right.
So, like, basically, just to get to the gist of it, guys, to kind of recap this whole thing, we're not saying CH is a bad pick. I just don't think you don't need to be believing where he's being projected at, in my opinion. I just don't think the proof is putting there. And
I think he's a sure thing running back too, and with upside of being a very high running back too.
I believe he's good running back too.
I think he's going to end at the far end of running back too. I mean, obviously, if the Chiefs gave him first round draft capital, and that's a big deal. As a matter of fact, that's the thing I care about the most is the fact that they got him in the first round.
Well, that's important, and they're going to have him for 5 years, and he's going to be able to play 5 years because he's not going to take a pounding like a lot of other players, right?
Right.
Because he's not going to have.
But I'm telling you, Damian Williams is going to be a more of a thorn to his stats than Marlon Mack will be to Jonathan Taylor, and I'll make that wage with anybody.
I will say this: Clyde Edwards-Helaire makes that team better.
Yeah, of course he does.
Yeah,
of course he does.
He is.
And like I said,
awesome.
I'm not here to bash on Clyde Edwards-Helaire, but I am here to say that I think he's overinflated right now, and I think you need to just adjust your. I'm adjusting my rankings because I believe he is a low RB2, high RB3, and that's kind of where I'm at with him.
Hey, I'm sorry, I know we're not really off track, but we're going on, and you know what? Fine, but listen, do you know how many shares of Clyde Edwards-Helaire I have in all of my leagues? Which I'm not a ton, but I'm in roughly 10 leagues. 0.
Yeah. Same.
Well, that's because it's either him or Jonathan Taylor, and
exactly.
We're sold on Taylor.
Well, not only that, no, it's not just that, because we've had some leagues that are not rookie draft only, where they're combined veteran and rookie drafts. So I have an opportunity right through there. Maybe Jonathan Taylor's gone already.
I've got a share.
Rarely happens.
I've got a share of Clyde and Taylor on the same team.
I have no shares. Yeah, I know. That's ridiculous. A bunch of kindergartners.
Yeah.
Anyway,
yeah, my kids, my
Chad,
kids got Derrick Henry and
yeah, your 4-year-old's got Derrick Henry. Chad, what were those projections on some of these?
Yeah, so just real quick,
experts, if you will.
Yeah, kind of wrap this thing up, and I think this is kind of why we feel the way we feel. They're basically saying that he's going to end up with 164 rushes, 714 rushing yards, 6.2 rushing touchdowns. And then on the receiving end, 45.6 receptions, 413.5 receiving yards, and another 3.3 receiving touchdowns. So that's a lot. It's a lot.
So they got him over 1,200 yards and almost 10 touchdowns.
Well, here's the thing. I actually think that they're pretty spot on those consensus rankings on the receptions part of it. Okay. Yeah. I do think that he's going to end up, I said about 40. I don't have my official projections yet out on our website, but they'll be coming soon. But my initial thoughts were about 40. This is before I saw this, by the way.
Yeah.
Receiving yards, I think I put him right around there, 3 or 4. I'm not yards, but touchdowns. But where they're missing the boat is on that rushing yards. There's no way he gets set, in my opinion, because he's not going to be the starting running back. He's not going to have 700 yards rushing. He's just not.
I agree with you.
I think he's going to have 50% less rushing attempts than what they're projecting. They're saying
they're projecting 164 attempts at 714 yards. I believe that's right around 4.4 yards per carry.
He's not going to. I don't think.
I agree with you, Kenneth. I think he's going to have. I got him actually for 595 yards rushing.
I think that's
aggressive.
I think that's high. I think he's going to have about 400. That's what I think.
And I got 4.5 rushing touchdowns, and I've got 2 receiving touchdowns, and that's double what he did for his whole college career.
I think their rushing touchdowns is not total touchdowns is probably not that far off. They've got him around 9. I'm predicting between 5 and 8, something like that.
Jonathan Taylor's going to destroy this guy in stats.
It's not even going to be close.
It's going to destroy him. And everybody's going to say, God dang, we got all caught up in the damn Kansas City tidal wave.
Right. Listen.
Let's be honest, guys.
We might have to eat crow on this.
Maybe we're eating crow, too.
I know.
I gladly will.
I'm pretty damn sure Jonathan Taylor's going to dominate the
well, I mean, even outside of that, regardless of Jonathan Taylor, I'll eat crow if he finishes where – they're projecting him at a top.
Have you ever eaten crow, by the way?
Kenneth, I don't think I have.
No.
Prize from
Brady Stringy
down there in Winchester, Tennessee. That was a Sunday afternoon special.
But yeah, so just to kind of wrap it all up, I think he'll have a good year. He's not going to be worth where he's being projected, and so
I've got him as running back 3 for the rookies. I got Jonathan Taylor number 1. I got Cam Akers number 2. Yeah. And I got CEH number 3, followed by Swift and then Dobbins.
What do you think about the show on Cam Akers coming up?
Yep.
You know what?
Cam Akers is next.
A lot of people have not actually – he gets overshadowed by CEH and Jonathan Taylor. I say we do one on Cam.
By a lot.
Let's do it. Let's do it next. And we'll I got some really interesting things on Cam Akers.
Yeah, well, I know that you love those Florida State Seminoles. So,
well, they are the best.
Yeah. Okay.
Just had some tough times right now.
Yeah. Hey, every team goes through it. Chad, that was awesome. You did a nice job breaking that down. We could go on forever, guys. And if you want more, let us know. We will break these down. And you know what? We have really in-depth articles on our website. We may ask one of our contributors to break down this a little further.
Yeah, I think it actually make it a really good article.
So,
I think it would make a really good article.
It would make a good article.
Comparison.
There's some other stuff out there. Check it out. Hey, this kind of turned into a Jonathan Taylor versus a CEH.
I know, and we didn't mean it to.
But that's kind of the natural thing, though. That's where everybody's head is.
Yeah. Well, it's inevitable when you have one, when you have CEH at 14 and then you've got, Jonathan Taylor at 22. We're going to go.
I just, and we didn't even talk about, the focal point of the offenses. I mean, if you really think about it, Pat Mahomes, it's Travis Kelce and Tyreek Hill. And you still got the split with Damian Williams and the oncoming of McCole Hardman. I mean, that offense has so many different directions it can go, and it does go. Whereas the Colts, I mean, Phillip Rivers is a dump-off master, and I'm telling you, well, you guys know how I feel.
Yeah,
let's,
know how you
let's
feel.
go to some shot takes or something.
Let's do something else. Let's change it up.
Before we wrap it up.
Yeah, before we wrap it up, we're not done yet. We got some good stuff coming for you. This will be fun. Guys, we like to do what we call shot takes. So this is our hot take segment. We throw something out there that may be a little bit spicy. We try not to get too outlandish. But my definition of outlandish and your definition of outlandish might be two different things. But let me know. I can take it. I got thick skin.
Well, that's the whole point, right? The whole point of shot takes is to, fire one out there and
ruffle some feathers and see.
Take a chance, man.
Yeah, if you can't have a big spicy take every now and then what are you doing?
Right.
You're just lukewarm and
What are you doing? Let's go.
What are you doing? Let's see. Dave, you want to go first?
Yeah, sure. Let's do this. I just went and got me one.
I don't want it to get cold or warm on you. I want it to be right there in the middle.
Well, I got some Catch Fire.
Catch Fire.
Catch Fire.
Oh, damn.
It's the best alternative to Fireball, and I'm going to go ahead and hammer it right now.
Oh, my God.
Ba-boom.
Dave always takes shots that Dave must have grown up a free pourer. You know what that is? Whenever you go to the bar and they just pour it in there, they don't measure.
Yeah, the bars that don't make any money.
Yeah, because I'm pretty sure that was at least an ounce and a half.
It was just a cool-looking glass.
Oh, okay.
All right, so my shot take is actually going to –
it looked bigger.
For those that follow me on Twitter, I actually did a late-night shot – oh, yeah, I hear you. Yeah. Tiny hands and smells like cabbage.
Oh, my God.
I did a late-night shot take last night on Twitter, and I'm gonna reiterate that one.
Okay.
And this is Derrick Henry. My shot take is Derrick Henry. I think the Titans really found something with that screen pass at the latter half of the season. I think he's going to have 30 receptions. It's big.
30?
It's an increase. I mean, last year he had 18. He had
17.
Or he had 22. I think he had 22.
No, that's his number.
He had 18.
He had 18 catches, so he's going to bump that up to 30. He's going to have 345 yards receiving and 4 touchdowns. He had 200-something yards and 2 touchdowns. And so I'm bumping him up a pretty good margin, but not something that's outlandish. And I believe that they're going there. And so 30 receptions, 345 yards, 4 touchdowns, along with his rushing yards, that's going to make him a top 5 running back.
Boom. That's exactly – you knew where I was going. You knew what I was thinking. I was going to make you put a number on it.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
As a matter of fact, I'm saying with the additional passing game numbers, along with what I think he's going to get in the running game, I think he's going to be finished as running back 4.
Nice.
Okay, so me and you both agree, although it's a tough prediction that Jonathan Taylor is going to be probably right around that 5 number. So that doesn't leave a lot of room for some of these people.
I think it's going to be close between those two.
All right, I like it. Of course, I'm a Titans fan. I love that. Even if he has a little regression on the rushing touchdowns, he's going to pick it up on the receiving side. Okay.
All right. Well, definitely spicy, Dave. I love it too. I think, I've got plenty of shares of Henry.
Wish I had more
for some of those as well, but I'm big on the guy.
I just got him in a 3rd round, guys.
Yeah, that's again kindergarten league.
Yeah. you got to get out of these kindergarten leagues, bro.
Yeah, it's time to take your training wheels off, Dave.
Hey, I will be honest. It's my first Devy league, and these guys are all about the young guys.
Yeah,
and
well, that makes sense.
I'm just going to keep drafting those young guys.
Yeah. Well, us old guys.
Somebody's got to win year 1.
Us old guys got to win now.
Yeah, he's going to win year 1 and say, "All right, guys, I'm going to sell this."
Exactly.
Chad, do you want to go next on your shot take? Or
sure.
I'll tell you what, I'll go.
Okay.
Let me go.
All right.
I'll come back to you, and then we'll do a roundup.
Sounds good.
All right, guys. I'm just going to take a shot, boys. I couldn't say Fireball, but it'd be a lie. But it is some delicious rum. Here's my shot take. Clyde Edwards-Helaire.
Oh, here we go.
Here we go. will never, ever, ever in his entire career be a top 5 fantasy football running back. Never. Never get top 5. Not only that, but he will spend most of his career as an RB2 or an RB3, which means he will rarely be a top 12. He's going to spend his career as a 15 to 30 in that gap.
Wow. Hey, I mean, like, well, you look at, we said the comp was Edmonds, right? Like, that you just basically told me the story of his career so far. So, like, I mean, I think
perennial 15 to 30, guys.
Yeah.
That's just my gut. That doesn't mean that he can't help you win some fantasy football games. I'm just saying that he's going to be in your flex position by next year.
Ooh, man,
Oh,
we might lose some.
I don't care. I don't care. I don't care if we
take.
Hey, they didn't come here for the same old crap.
It's how I feel about it.
Hey,
I'm sorry.
I mean, I definitely think we're going against the grain with this, but I feel very strongly about it. So, all right, I'll do mine, boys. I'm gonna get a little, a little that Tennessee down home.
Oh, you did get good.
Right out of the bottle. I love this guy.
Kind of like a stubby bottle.
Single barrel jack.
Yeah.
Can't go wrong.
That's what I keep on hand. So, all right, here's the one for me, boys. I'm going to say that Kenyon Drake will finish above Sanders this year. So
Miles Sanders.
Yep. I'm going to say Kenyon Drake will finish beyond Miles Sanders.
Miles Sanders is the flavor of the year.
He is the flavor of the year, and it doesn't seem honestly that spicy of a take because there's several projections out there that would say that Drake would finish ahead of him.
Well, people love Miles Sanders because he's still so young, but
here's where it gets spicy. I'm going to say he will well exceed Miles Sanders. I think that Drake will finish in the top 10, and I think Sanders will finish outside of the top 15. I feel really
so what is your call on is it the Doug Peterson factor or what are you looking
absolutely.
at here?
Well, I mean, two things, right? I feel like Drake is in the best position he's been in his entire career. And the guy's got supreme skill. He's a talented running back. He's not had the situation to succeed that he is in now. And on the flip side, I mean, Miles Sanders to me, in that situation with that, you've heard me talk about on these podcasts several times now. I look at offensive competence in the coaching staff, and
that's probably why you're down a little bit on Swift.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And it's the same thing for me with Sanders. Like they're going to get other players involved. They're going to be throwing the ball around. You look at the end of the year last year.
They just lost their best offensive lineman for the run game and their guard.
So a multitude of reasons. That's the way I feel. I know some people won't
I wish
like
you hadn't broken it down that far. It sounded a lot spicier when you didn't explain it to
me. Well, hey, it's spicy compared to what you're hearing outside.
I'm probably higher on Sanders than you are, but I do buy Drake, and it's a good take.
Cool.
I love it. Hey guys. Thank you for joining us on this episode. It's been a lot of fun. I hope we ruffled some feathers. I hope we got you thinking about it. We don't want to make anybody mad. And trust me, this is not personal to the Hammer Nation. We actually hope that you got a little something out of it. And if nothing else, just start thinking about some things that's just not getting fed to you from the expert rankings. Do a little research yourself and see, maybe dig back into those college numbers and whatever it is. It's just numbers. It's just our opinions. Let us know what you want to hear next, because our idea right now is we want to do a little series on these rookies. We want to do some Cam Akers. We want to do some Swift, some Dobbins. We want to jump into Jerry Jeudy and CeeDee Lamb. You get it. We kind of want to tackle some of these.
Oh, I can't wait to do CeeDee Lamb.
I know. And it's a lot of fun because nobody has NFL experience or numbers to back up what their takes are. So we're kind of like weathermen. It's okay if we're a little wrong,
Well, everybody's wrong. There's no perfect fantasy handicapper.
Nobody's perfect, guys.
But to reiterate Kenneth's point, this is not a and albeit, do this or don't do that. This is opinionated. I like Clyde Edwards-Helaire. I just don't like him where his ADP is.
Yep.
And that's what it comes down to. And you know what? That's what it comes down to on every player.
Absolutely.
Do you like them at their ADP or not? And some people have them way too high, and some people have them way too low, and it's all subjective.
Yep.
But make your best decisions. Like the guys you want to like. Have fun, and let's just do this thing.
Yeah, let's have fun with it. Chad, any parting thoughts from you?
No.
Party shot? Did someone say shot?
Yeah, I did say parting shot. It was an accident. You want to take one? There it goes.
Let's do it right now.
All right.
You got to tell them twice, right?
You got anything, Chad?
Just enjoyed having the conversation, guys, and really appreciate everybody that tunes in. One of the things I just want to plug real quick, obviously, is the end of the month is coming up, and we've got that Todd Gurley jersey giveaway still on the website. So HammerCast.com. If you guys want to register for that, it's super easy. All you got to do is enter your email, guys. That's it. So get in there and get a chance to win that jersey.
Well said. We've got a lot of exciting news coming up for you guys. Please pay attention. Watch the website, HammerCast.com. Watch YouTube. Listen to us on the podcast, all those things. We have a lot of fun stuff coming, and we want more of you guys to let us know what you want to hear, because it's all about you, okay?
Yep.
Thank you very much, and we'll catch you next time.
Peace.
See y'all.
Did you get all that? If not, make sure you head over to HammerCast.com. Subscribe and join the Hammer Nation. Until next time, keep grinding.